find some sort of harmony and balance.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? BC here. Welcome back to another episode here at the office. And I wanted to talk to you guys today about the proper way that a student and a person develops in their field, right? Today, I'm specifically going to focus it on being an entrepreneur, building your business, and some of the key elements of that. However, this is universally applicable when we break this thing down from an objective perspective, meaning this formula can be applied to anything, all right? So let's take a look at my business, entrepreneurship, real estate sales, right? Somebody comes in. Now, if you didn't know, right, or haven't heard me talk about this, we have long been in and are pretty much almost out of the information era, right? You can go on Google, you can go on YouTube, you can find so much information about everything, history, business, blah, 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 right? So that in itself doesn't really have value anymore like it used to because it's not hidden, it's in plain sight now. We are in the era now of communication and execution. Yeah, I added execution because the people who are dominating now are the people who communicate at a high level, right? That's what allows them to create a brand, have a social media, grow their business, et cetera, but also the people who execute on that information. They're able to assimilate the information, understand it, learn it, apply it, and master it at a high level. The keys to the world are held now by those individuals, okay? So with that said, what is it really gonna take? Well, a key distinction I want you to make here is this, okay? Compare me now to 10 years ago when I got my real estate license. Two completely different people, two different stages of development, two different stages of skill, confidence, objectivity when it comes to life perspectives, maturity, emotional intelligence. I mean, we can go on and on, right? So the point I'm making here is the information, the basics, the foundation, the fundamentals of growing a business, whether it's, again, a marketing business, entrepreneurial business, sales business, real estate business, those have remained the same with very small, little nuances like, okay, social media was added to the game. The foundational, traditional stuff still stayed the same, but there were little, we can say changes and tweaks that have come in, but 99% of it has remained the same. With that said, what allows somebody, and this is the key here that I want you to understand, what allows somebody to come in and now have success versus the other people, the vast majority of them come in, have access to the same information, the same tools, the same everything, yet they can't do it, right? Another clearer example, more specific example is, how can I take a script that I learned and use it to make millions of dollars, and there's so many people out there who use that same script and they can't even get people to talk to them, right? So that becomes the question. Well, the common differentiating factor is this, and this is why with my stuff I focus on this so much, especially with my closest students, is it's not the tools, it's not the information, it's the user of the tools. It's the person who is applying that blueprint, following that schedule, making the calls, using the skills, and using the information. It's the individual and their capacity and their ability to use it. Take a rookie gun user versus a professional gun user, right? Two completely different results with that gun and its ability to do what it does, shoot. Same thing with using a knife, tools, whatever it is. You give a skilled contractor and his workers tools that can build a home that can do a lot. You give it to the average person, they can't do anything with it, right? They can store it well, right? So what I'm getting at here is the capacity of the individual either allows the tools to shine or allows the tools to not be used at all or very little, with very little efficiency. So a lot of times people are looking for information or better information when it's not the information, it's them that need to develop. So let's give an example like making calls and your communication and sales skills. Well, part of that is the information, the technique, sure. But what really allows the individual to thrive and use those techniques at the highest level? It's their inner development. If they understand and have a better perspective on communication, understand the potency and power of sales. If they now, from an identity standpoint, see themselves as a high-level communicator and salesperson, and that's their duty and obligation, everything changes, right? If now they have the confidence behind what they're saying because they know why they're saying it and why it works, and they believe in it, right? The next one is their belief in what they're selling. Do they actually stand by it? And internally, is there a check there, right? Like, yes, this is good. This is a great product. I need to get out there in the marketplace. And they wholeheartedly believe it. And then another one could be their belief in their entrepreneurial endeavors and achievement of their dreams and goals. Do they actually believe they're going to achieve it? And does it align with their purpose and they're tied to it? All these things that I'm describing, and there's many more, are internal processes. Internal. You don't read that in a book. You have to develop that within yourself. You have to learn that, right? You have to be coached to do that. You have to read about that. You have to have a lot of introspection. You have to have a lot of work that you do on yourself to discover these things and understand these perspectives and develop. That way, when I give you that blueprint and that script now, or someone else does, you can achieve it at the highest level because all these things are in check, are in play, are operating at the highest levels, or i.e. operating, period. Another easy kind of contrasting example I can give you of this is when you give me a student who wholeheartedly believes they're going to be successful, even if they don't have the skills, even if they don't have the know-how, even if they're not coming from the best background, even if they don't have any natural advantages, but they wholeheartedly believe that they're going to be successful and they'll do whatever it takes. They will take everything that I teach, they will take everything that I give them and give it 10,000% effort. And that's why those people will be successful. The person who doesn't internally about themselves believe they're going to be successful, right? And they have all these doubts and, well, I don't know. They're the ones that become picky and choosy about what they're going to do. They're the ones who don't work hard. And they're the ones who every single moment, challenge, speed bump, are looking for a reason to point the finger and blame something outside of themselves as to why they can't be successful. It is insane. And what was the differentiating factor there between those two individuals? Well, it was the self-belief. And again, I can't give somebody self-belief. That is an internal process that's developed within you. Self-belief. Self-belief. So what I'm getting at here is a lot of people tackle success and development from the wrong perspective. Now, if you've been an avid listener of mine, this is nothing new. But I'm always having new waves of people coming in, and I think a lot of people disconnect from these basic foundational principles, which is always why on my free platforms I circle back and come back, because these concepts need to be hammered into people's heads. The moment from the beginning that I started really focusing on myself, which was almost immediately, because I had that reality check very, very early on, probably a couple weeks into growing my business. Everything changed because as I got better and stronger and more resilient and more confident and more sure of myself, my self-image improved, my confidence improved, all that stuff improved. My outside results just started skyrocketing. Because think about the typical stuff that people deal with that they think is external. I don't have motivation, I'm not sure, this and that. All that stuff is internal. When you're aligned with your purpose and believe in what you're going to do, it doesn't matter what obstacles come on, you will tackle them. It doesn't matter how you feel, you will show up and work every day. It doesn't matter what people say, because you believe in yourself, you're still going to keep pushing forward every single day, no matter what. And all these things that people deal with that they think they need help with suddenly just dissolve, because at the root, right? Not the symptom of the problem, the real problem gets handled and addressed. And suddenly they've unlocked all this energy, all this focus, all this ambition, all these things. And it's like, wow, I feel like a different person. Suddenly I can deliver these lines. Suddenly I'm not scared to approach the person. Well, yeah, because you've changed. You've gotten better. The techniques and the know-how and the blueprint and the information hasn't changed. You changed. You got better. And when you're around these examples, which is, a reason that I really urge people, especially when they're young, to get into sports, is you have these figures and these examples teaching you, and then you have this camaraderie and this brotherhood of doing it with people around you and going through hard times together. You develop and forge character, right? And if you didn't play sports as an adult, that can be tougher to find unless you find the right group of people to surround yourself with. And then you have these esteemed coaches and individuals that you can look up to and ask questions and see that example in them. But you also have the camaraderie of the people around you going through the same thing as you, and you unite. And you uniting your forces together in the accomplishment of a similar goal it's unparalleled. It's amazing. But you have to work on you, man. And that's the toughest thing, because it forces you to face your insecurities. It forces you to be uncomfortable. And it forces you to face that man or woman in the mirror and say, we can do better. We need to get better. We need to overcome blank. We need to become better speakers. We need to stop telling ourselves that we're shy and introverted and we're not salespeople. We need to believe in ourselves. We need to pass what seem like insurmountable obstacles and conquer them. But see, that's a decision and a journey that you need to embark on. You connecting with your purpose is on you. You developing your confidence and character, right, is on you. You changing and forging your identity to something that helps you evolve and grow is on you. All these things are on you. You can have teachers and people helping you and guiding you, but ultimately these internal shifts need to be made by you and decided by you and committed to by you. We can't force that. And I still believe that with this internal stuff, people still somehow, maybe they're not aware of it, or they still believe that they can go outside of themselves to achieve these things, and it's just not going to happen. It's tough. It's not the easy road. It's the road avoided by 99% of people. But if you commit to this, yes, there's hardships. I told you guys, I was in tears 3 times my first year in real estate, broke down. But man, it built me up to be a bad motherfucker. And you can do the same. But you need to commit to this process first and up front and deal with whatever comes with it. Because at that point, whatever hardship or challenge that comes with it, remember, you signed up for it and you asked for it. But what's on the other side is a better you, a more capable you, and a more successful you, which is exactly what you want, okay? So if you guys want to reach out to me, you want to talk about real brokerage, hit me up. You want to check out my coaching and courses, bryancasella.com, set up a strategy call, and we can take it from there. All right, guys, see you on the next episode. Peace.